this video, we're going to show you how to install a BWK 111076. It's the removable hardtop shell weatherstrip kit. It's a 1976 to 91 GM Blazer Jimmy. Tools you'll need are Let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is remove the shell. You're going to have to remove the fastening hardware along the bed rails and along the cab. Now that we have the shell off, we'll have to remove the old weather stripping. On the large end, you have a plastic clip you need to take out, along with a screw. On the opposite end, there is also a screw. In between there, it'll be glued down to the shell. On our shell here, the plastic rivet is gone, so we just need to remove the screw on the large end. Our weather stripping does not appear to be glued down correctly. That's why it's coming off really easily here. As we get to the opposite end, we just need to remove the screw. With the old weather stripping removed, we're going to go ahead and take our weather strip installation tool, use the chisel end to go ahead and scrape off any residue left on the shell, then go back over it with a general purpose cleaner. We're going to go ahead and put the new weather stripping on. We recommend using 2 people to do this job. Now we went ahead and pre-applied some tape to the shell. We're going to start on the end with a larger molded section. Now you're going to put the adhesive on the shell and also on the weather stripping. And then allow it to tack up before applying the weather stripping to the shell. Our shell does not have the hole for the rivet that's in our part, so we went ahead and removed it. Your shell may have the hole, so you'll keep the rivet in the part. We're going to go ahead and install it now.
That's good.
When installing the seal, make sure you line up the bulb on the weather stripping against the edge on the shell. We're going to go ahead and use some pressure in the center of the weather stripping to wet out the adhesive. Then we're going to take the tape that we pre-applied to the shell and use that to tape down the weather stripping. You're going to keep repeating the process as you make your way down the length of the shell. One tip is to hold some tension on the weather stripping while your partner applies the adhesive to the actual weather stripping. One thing to note is in a relaxed state, the weather stripping is going to appear to be too short. So when you're applying it to the shell, make sure you have tension on it. The end of the weather stripping needs to line up with the end of the shell. The last thing you'll need to do is to put the screw in the small end and then repeat the process for the other side. Our shell did not have a header seal, but you're going to have to follow the same steps for the removal as we did for the side rail seals. Now the shell's all cleaned up, we're going to go ahead and install the new weather stripping. Now the adhesive's going to go right here on the shell and right here on the weather stripping. And we went ahead and applied some tape to the shell. We'll show you how to use that later. The ends are going to line up right here. And then the bulb is going to go against the shell like this. We're going to go ahead and apply the adhesive in the same manner as we did before for the side rails. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the cab here, and we're going to tape it down. You may notice a gap between the weather stripping and the shell, and that's okay. The That will go away once you mount the shell back onto the cab. We're going to continue this process all the way to the other end. Once we get there, we're going to make sure the ends line up correctly. Then we're going to go ahead and tape the weather stripping down. We're going to go ahead and tackle the seal that goes on the cab. Now our truck has been freshly painted and there is no seal to remove. The process of removing the old seal is the same as what we showed you on the shell. Take it off, use a Weatherstrip installation tool to scrape off any residue, and then go back over it with some general purpose cleaner. We're going to go ahead and show you the proper orientation of the seal. So the adhesive goes right here on the flange on the body, and then it's going to go in this cavity on the seal. So what happens when you put the seal onto the body, so those two surfaces will match up. When we apply the seal, we're going to work in small sections to make this more manageable. We're going to start at one end and simply repeat the process all the way to the other end. Going to finish up the last section on the body here. Then we're going to let the adhesive cure, and then we can reinstall the shell. Some tips when reinstalling the shell is to make sure the weather stripping is warm on the shell and the body. Use some rubber lubricant or foaming glass cleaner on the seals, so when you install the shell, the seals can mate up properly and they do not bind. And then you're done.